Why are you still smoking? That's the question I finally asked myself back in February of 2001. At that point, I'd been smoking for over 32 years. I started at 12 years old. And I wasn't a casual smoker, I smoked a lot. I smoked 3, sometimes 4 packs of cigarettes every single day. I just had the type of work where I was able to always do that. Now, I'd already quit 3 different times, and one of those times I had stayed quit for more than a year and a half. But every single time, I eventually started smoking again. Looking back now, quitting smoking was and still is one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. If you're still smoking today, I hope you'll give me the next 8 to 10 minutes because maybe this video will change your life at some point. I'm Dan. I've been smoke-free now for 25 years, and here's my story. Now, let me start by saying this. I'm one of those people who actually enjoyed smoking. Now, that probably sounds strange to people who never smoked, but if you're watching this, you probably have. And it might even sound strange to you, but if you've been there, you understand. I like the routine. I like taking that first drag. I like lighting a cigarette. I even like the smell of it. Freshly lit cigarette. Sometimes the lighters. It was just appealing to me. The problem was I also knew exactly what it was doing to my body. I mean, I knew every cigarette was just shortening my life. I just couldn't seem to stop. I wanted to stop. I'd wanted to stop for a long time. But finally, something happened that changed everything for me. I was playing basketball. I love playing basketball. I played several times a week, and I was running up and down the court. My throat became so clogged with phlegm that I was actually choking on it. I can still remember trying to catch my breath and trying to clear my throat and wondering, what in the world was I doing to myself? It really kind of scared me. I remember thinking, what if I just collapse right here on this basketball court with all this phlegm in my throat? Yeah, and then these guys would probably all make fun of me because they'd have to haul me off the court. But worse than that, I could be having some other serious health issues. So for the first time, quitting smoking wasn't something I knew I should do. It became something I knew I had to do. I have to stop and say here, as I think back, timing is really something else. Why did this happen to me right then? I have to tell you, on my prayer channel, Peaceful Moments with God, yes, it's a plug for my channel, I often talk about God showing up unexpectedly. And I believe this is one of those times for me. Because as a Catholic, Lent was getting real close. And every year I would either commit to doing something special or give something up. And that year I decided I had to give up cigarettes. I figured this is the way that I could be able to stick with it. So it wasn't just making a promise to myself, it was a promise to God. And, I don't know, maybe your faith looks a little different than mine, and that's okay. I'm just simply telling you that at this time, it really worked for me because once I told God I was quitting, I knew I couldn't make excuses anymore. So that's why I was talking about how it, came at that particular time. So on Ash Wednesday, February 28th, 2001, I smoked my last cigarette and I went cold turkey. Was it easy? Absolutely not. But for some reason, this time it was easier than ever before. I was determined in a way that I had not been determined in the past. So here I am today, grateful I stayed with it. Because over the years, I've watched friends, family, acquaintances deal with all the terrible effects of smoking. Things like heart disease, COPD, emphysema, lung cancer, mouth cancer, throat cancer. These are serious things and they take a severe toll over time on everyone who hasn't made that decision and followed through. But it's not just the big ones. It's the loss of stamina. It's looking way older than you are. Why? Because smoking destroys the collagen in your skin. For women especially, but for men as well. You get deeper wrinkles, you get that weathered look you see in long-term smokers. And for some people, maybe the vanity part of this can help you make that decision to quit if all of the medical stuff doesn't. I say, hey, whatever works. Ultimately, Far too many lives are cut short by something we have a lot of control over. But smoking doesn't just affect you, the smoker. Think about your husband or your wife, your children, your grandchildren. Secondhand smoke increases their risk too. I used to think that was a crock, but it's not really. Heart disease, stroke, lung cancer, asthma attacks, these are things that affect the people around us. And researchers have also found that the chemicals that are left behind on the clothing, the furniture, your car, even your skin, they're calling that third-hand smoke. It can expose children to harmful toxins long after the cigarettes have been put out. So when we smoke, we're not only making a decision for ourselves, we're affecting the people we love the most who aren't smoking. And if making decisions for ourselves isn't enough, maybe for some of us, it isn't. Maybe we can do it for those we love. Now for me today, it's been 25 years. I honestly feel way better. And I know I'm healthier now than I was back then. It's interesting, my doctor used to schedule yearly lung cancer screenings because of how much I had smoked over those 32 years. But eventually, the insurance company wouldn't cover them anymore. I think it was after like 15 years or something. They said enough years had passed since I quit that it was like I had never smoked. Now, I don't really know if I agree with that. I still wonder what damage I may have already done that hasn't shown up yet. But here's what I do know. Today, at 68 years old, I can still play basketball for 2 to 3 hours at a time. I just recently ran a 5K with my grandson, just over 31 minutes. And I can run up all 7 flights of stairs to my apartment if I need to, and I have done it. Now, I'm not stopping when I do these things because I have to. I only stop because I'm tired out. I make the choice not because of my heart or lungs are making the choice for me. And that's an incredible difference. Now, quitting smoking isn't the only reason for that. I've worked hard on my health in a lot of other ways, but I can promise you, had I kept smoking 3 or 4 packs a day for 25 more years, I don't even believe I'd be doing this video right now. I probably wouldn't be here. And maybe not even if I was, I wouldn't be doing the things that I can do. And I also think about the money. When I smoked, cigarettes cost around $1.50 to $2 a pack. Today, man, I hear the prices are anywhere from $7 to $10 and maybe even more. Even at half a pack a day, that's around $1,500 every year. A full pack closer to $3,000. And if you're a heavy smoker, I guess you could easily spend $6,000, $8,000, or even $10,000 a year. Is that worth it for something that's doing bad things for you? Think about what you could do with that kind of money anyway. Just a nice trip for sure. And that's before the medical bill. So remember the question I asked at the beginning of this video. Why are you still smoking, Dan? Well, let me ask you that question now. Why are you still smoking? Now, I'm not asking to criticize you. I just want you to think about it. I've been exactly where you are. I know how powerful nicotine addiction can be. As a matter of fact, I remember my mom had breast cancer and she was getting chemo treatment along with other people, and there'd be people waiting for it. And I'd watch people receiving chemo for lung cancer walk outside with an oxygen tank, light another cigarette while they're waiting for their next treatment. Now, it's not because they're really weak, it's because nicotine is incredibly addictive. Or maybe it was just because not only was it addictive, but they're also losing hope of survival at that point. Either way, it wasn't good. So if you're still smoking, what's keeping you from quitting? Can you find that reason that'll help you stop for good? And if you've quit, what finally worked for you? This is just my story, but maybe your story is a little better, a little different. Maybe it's going to touch somebody else that'll make sense to them, and maybe it'll help them. They might need exactly what you're talking about, that encouragement or that reason to do it. You already know you should quit, but maybe today's the day you decide you have to. God bless. If this video helped you or made you stop and think, click the button, click the like button. It really helps. It helps share these videos like this with more people who might need to hear this message. And we know there's plenty out there. And if you enjoy honest conversations about health, life, and lessons I've learned along the way, I'd love to have you subscribe and join. Remember, we only get one body. Take care of it. I'll see you soon, and in the meantime, have a phenomenal day.